Back to your channel. My name is Brad and SuperCoach Pro. Today we're doing the round 5 SuperCoach team update in terms of our trades this week and our VC and C option going through. So this week, as you can see on my tabs, I think you might be able to see it. I'm going for Meek is the hot topic, and I think it's all thanks to Jordz. I feel like if you didn't actually bring him up, he wouldn't be really relevant. So I'm doing a bit of a deep dive into why I'm specifically bringing him into my side. Now, I want to just advise, if I was a Grundy owner, I'd probably just be finding a way to go up to Marshall, Gawn, or English, whoever you didn't have out of those three. I wouldn't be grabbing in Meek to make cash off Grundy. So the only reason I'm doing this is a set play, and it's just a 2-3 week play. I know it's a little bit silly burning 2 trades to do it, but it could even work out to be more if he ends up playing well against Wits, which I'm actually backing him in. So I'm not going to go early on Graham or Comden from North, who's taken Pink's spot effectively. So we'll bring in Closey. I think his job security looks all right. I know it is one game. He's not on the bubble, so don't have to go there, but most of us will go there anyway. So if he's a burnt rookie, I mean, most of the competition is going to take him anyway, and a lot of people are going to sideways him for Howes. So, well, not really sideways because you're banking, quite a lot of money there, at least 120K, but I had some money in the bank. Then the other option here is Wilson and get out of my team. Clark, I can't do. I'm like $200 shorts from that, but Clark plays North Melbourne, so I don't actually mind it if he doesn't get dropped. So play Flanders in the forward line, Jackson into the forward line, and then we go and grab him. Now, so what I'm doing with my side specifically is all I'm losing is 2 rookies for a punt on a mid-pricer. Now, you may think, oh, Meek, this is a dumb pick, Brad, whatever. But I'm not using a boost this week. I want to wait on players like Georgiades, Comden, as we already mentioned, and then Will Graham in the midfield as well. Potentially Mac Andrew in the back line. Can he do another freak game? He scored 100, he was 300K. But I'm willing to risk it. So if I optimize my team, now I've got a bailout option of this, right? So let's just talk about Meek, specifically in my team. I'm not saying, like I said, not saying get him for Grundy, bank that K and upgrade Massimo to McGovern or whoever you're looking down at back. You could do that, don't get me wrong, but you've got to have a bailout option for this. So let's say worst case scenario, he does score 61. That is the worst case. Like he's in a water rock contest, right? He's going to make 34K, so it brings him up to just shy of 400K or thereabouts anyway. Then he's got North Melbourne. So his price projection is to be around 411K in a couple of weeks. And that's at worst case. That's going at 61.75, right? He's already got an 88 in the wet, and that was a really hard game to sort of get any SuperCoach scores. I mean, Stewart scored 99 in that game. Then you got 130 against ruck opposition in Cox and Cameron, who are actually normally hard to score against. So I watched the highlights of him. If you type in AFL and then you look at the website, obviously, and then you type in the player name, you can have a look at all the highlights of the player that you're searching. So I looked at Meek. He looked really impressive, to be honest. I didn't have time to watch the game again, so because I only watched about half of it, but he looked impressive. So, yep, people are thrown off by this Wits factor. That's fine. But I feel like after that, if he can get through that, he'll be all right. So when we have a look at his games a couple of years ago, 87, right? Now, I'm not sure if these were with Darcy or not. I'd probably assume they're not, right? Let's assume they're not at worst case, right? Let's see. Let's pretend these are solo games. I'm happy with those scores from a couple of years ago. I'm not too fast. He would have been 23 turning 24, not in the prime career, right? I'm expecting to go 90 plus. And then there's these 2 games. Yeah, he had high disposals here. Not saying he'll get those disposals again. He's still got 30 and 42 hitouts. Against the Cats, yeah, it was against the rookie Cat Ruckman, but 30 hitouts, I'll take that. He did a lot of, around the groundwork, which Reeves doesn't do very well. He's only a tap Ruckman. So I think he's bought himself a couple of weeks at least. His CBAs have gone from 84 to 92, so it has increased. And then who is his next CBA? It must be Ramson. It must be the 8% to plus 92 equals 100%. So he's getting a lot of ruck time, and that's the main thing. And if Reeves isn't named, I'll bring him in. However, if Reeves is named, I won't be touching him whatsoever. But you have a look at the match report, right? Let's say the Cats game, and you have a look what he's done. This is not the right one. I want player stats. My bad. So let's have a look at his time on ground as well. So I want it to be fairly high, and it is. It's 88% time on ground. You can see here, he's a little bit more handball friendly. That's why I had a score of 88, but it was wet, so it probably makes more sense to handball in the wet rather than trying to kick when it's pouring of rain. So he gets around the ground. He's got good time on ground, and he follows up his work. Like he's actually not a bad clearance player as well, right? So that's a tick for me. The price is a tick. I mean, you guys took a punt on Power, albeit he is like in your forward line, you expect Power to be a keeper, but he's the same price, and you're getting rid of two rookies. So I just don't feel like I'm giving up a lot. It's sort of like draft picks. Like I'd be giving up picks 65 and 72. And if it works, it works. But a lot of people, shafting Grundy, which could be like, get rid of pick 25 for Meek, which could be a little bit more risky in terms of, what your play is. But we have a look at time on ground again. Is it in the 80s? Because that's what you want to see from a ruckman. Where's Meek? 87. So 87 and 88% time on ground. So he's got a good tank. His endurance is not bad. We like this, right? Excuse me. If you look at his draft profile, what does it say about him? So I think he's 203 now and he's 109. So he's always been a big unit. We get that. So ruck work, yep, that's a tick. Smart's good. It's good that he's a smart ruckman because ruckman normally got one brain cell and an extra chromosome. And then hands at ground. That's at ground level, sorry. So that's good. That's what we want for a ruckman. Can pick it up, no worries. And contested marking. Now, he hasn't had a lot of marks around the ground. That is a concern for me. So that's one thing I'll be looking for in this game against Wits. He's going to have to do something. Improvements, goal kicking, mobility. Mobility, he's ticked off improvements because of his last two games, sample size. I know it's not a lot. And then they said, look, he'll be a late rookie, which is fine because he's been playing under Sean Darcy prices, right? Now you look at his VFL stats. What have we got? 80, and this is in fantasy, 82, 134, 95, 93. Bad one here, 49. Interchange position. So I don't know what that means by interchange. Like, did he start on the bench? Not too sure. Fullback, I assume this is. That doesn't even look right. Surely this was this ruck. Am I reading that wrong? Not too sure. But that wasn't the point. My point was his fantasy stats bar that 49 was really good. Like really good. So you'll take that. Hit outs here, 26. Disposals, 15. And he's sort of a split between handball and kicks. A little bit more favours the handballs. We can see maybe it was wet conditions in these games. I'm not too sure. But his hit outs are all right. His marks are around the ground is what I want to see in the AFL side as opposed to the VFL. And his tackles are all right too, and does hit the scoreboard. So these are all positives for me. I can't see it being too risky if you're trading off two rookies for this. We've already looked at his CBA numbers. We get that. I don't know what this stupid ad is. I hate ads. So, yeah, for me, I just don't feel like it's much of a risk. And then we'll have a look at the flip side to this, right? So if we have a look at matches and we go to fixture and we have a look at Gold Coast, I think Witts has only really beaten a Briggs this year. He's not the Witts of the last couple of years that we've seen. He missed a game and Moyle played as well. So, look, for me, I'm not too worried about the Witts. It's more I'm worried about his security from then on. So let's go Gold Coast. Let's go Richmond. Now, Naismith put up a 93 against Witts, and Naismith's probably not a better ruckman than Meek, I wouldn't think. It definitely was, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So go player stats here. Sorry, fumbled a bit. And then let's have a look what the hitouts were. So Naismith actually beat Wits, and that's saying something. 25-22. Disposals around the ground, relatively even. Tackles, pretty even too. Clearances, time on ground, etc. So that's fine. So Wits has been playing 77% time on ground. Then who did he play after that? I'm just saying it's not the Wits of what we've seen before. The Wits is good around the ground, and he is good at hurting opposition ruckman scoring. But I'm not too worried about that. And this is the research you sort of do with your players. Like you have a look at their time on ground, what their hitouts has been, what the opposition they've got coming up against is. Like this is what teams would surely do, but in a different way, not Supercoach wise. So O'Brien, 45 hits to Wits, 36. And you can't tell me O'Brien's a better ruckman than Wits because he's not. Disposals around the ground, fairly even again. So if they can sort of cancel each other out, and let's say Meek gets 12 disposals, let's say he gets 30 hitouts, you're probably looking at a 95 there anyway. And time on ground for Wits, 82. So it says to me that, we might have a buffer of, 8-9% of game time where Wits won't be on the ground and he'll be rucking against, I don't even know who rucks next. Or Koshes, let's just say, or a Casbolt, if he's still named, I don't know. But for me, I just feel like it's a punt I can take on the Meek train. Now let's play worst case scenario. Let's say he drops 270s, he gets to 430. Right, what am I doing? Well, then in round 7, when Gawn is back against the Tigs, I'm somehow gonna grab 100k, or maybe I need more because Gawn probably going to be 700k. I need enough money in the bank to go Meek into Gawn pretty quickly, especially if Meek's price projection has stopped his break evens, his average. Now, best case, I can ride the Meek train until he hits his break even. I'm losing, let's say, 30, 40 points potentially in the ruck, but it means I'm also gaining 30, 40 points in the forward line instead of playing one of these rookies that aren't so great. So that is my Meek play. Now, what was I going to do if I didn't have to risk the Meek play? I honestly don't know. And that's what makes it hard with this side is I could upgrade my bench. I could get rid of some dead rookies, I guess. The play could be this if I see Reeves named, just for cash gen's sake, I suppose. This is option B. Now, let me know what you guys think. I probably won't take too much consideration. Unless Reeves is named. But if you guys do think this is a better option, do let me know. This could be what I do is I bank 80k and get rid of a dead rookie, and I bring in Brown and closely. Excuse me. And then bank 80. Now Brown, I don't really know. I don't know what his job like. Job security looks fine, but his scoring, I feel like he could revert back to 60s. I feel like that could be one spike game. Could jump on another expensive rookie, which I've done already a couple of times this year, and it has paid off so far because I'm playing Dempsey at F5 there. I'm not going to captain Brown, obviously, but if he averages 70, is he worth the punt? If he averages 60, is he worth the punt at 213k? He might make me 100k, and then I fix that Caulfield issue. The issue on top of that is I don't need to get rid of Caulfield this week. I can get a Comden. I can switch Karmas to the back line. Excuse me, have him there instead, and get a rookie like McAuliffe once he, has a decent game or two in him, because he came in on the fourth quarter. So I could wait to fix the defense. I don't have to pay 200k for Brown, just for cash gen in the short term. But that is my thoughts on my trades this week. So yeah, I'm on the Meek train. Done a bit of research on it. That's what I've been looking at anyway. And I just feel like he's a player that can get to 480k, 500k in a matter of 3-4 weeks. Maybe I'm a little bit optimistic, but he just looks like a good pick for me. My team, my structure. Depends your risk versus reward. How many, risky players do you got? Are you fielding Yo McGovern in the back line? Or do you not got much risk? Do you need to take a punt where you're sort of in this odd placement of like 17K like me, and you need a pod pick to do something crazy, spike a cash gen. So what I'd really need Meek to do is score, ideally 100 each week. Let's say Gorn goes 150 tonight. I've made 50 points on Gorn owners, and then I can turn Meek into Gorn in a couple of weeks when his price is capped out and just spend 100K or so, or maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, and then grab Gorn that way. And yes, it's 2 trades in, but to grab a Gorn from a Meek, and I should probably just start with Gorn, we get that. But I just feel like it's a bit of a cash play. People have done it for Max King and speculative picks like that. And, they've been okay so far. So I feel like why not take the punt, not use a boost this week and wait on the rookies for next week to downgrade on. Anyway, a bit of a ramble then. It was just sort of a Meek dive. Catch you on the next. Hopefully you guys have a good one. And captaining, probably going to go VC Bonds and then C Steele for me. Catches. Bye.